Scary future. There's your story. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Shadow Wars, a turn-based tactical strategy game that takes a very simple but effective approach to its 3D effect in the gameplay here on the Nintendo 3DS. Great looking cutscenes that could have come out of any other Tom Clancy's something game, but the developers have used the 3D effect nicely on them, and that makes them stand out at least a little bit. In fact, that's the whole story with this game. It's an average tactical RPG style strategy game with a 3D effect that's used nicely to give some depth to the playing fields. Because let's face it, tactical strategy games like Front Mission, Vandal Hearts, and the Final Fantasy Tactics games are not visual masterpieces when it comes to the playing fields, which are frequently very basic. And this one is more or less the same, except the 3D effect is used to give some depth, so those things moving in the background look like they're really moving in the background. The storyline is nothing terribly exciting, but it's told effectively through cutscenes like this and dialogue and static frames. In fact, as there's not a whole lot of movement in this game, it's easy on the eyes when you play it in 3D. And I frequently found myself admiring the simple backgrounds that turned into something exciting when viewed in 3D. But like other 3DS games, you can also turn that slider switch to 2D, which makes the gameplay brighter and flattens everything out. But this one has a cool 3D effect because if you play tactical RPG strategy games, you know what they look like. They all look pretty much the same, and this one's just got something different. It's the gameplay, strategy, and storyline that make tactical RPGs worth playing. So is this one worth playing? Well, I could probably mention easily a dozen tactical style games that are better than this one, or at least that I would consider to be better than this one. But if you've invested in a Nintendo 3DS and are looking for a turn-based strategy style game to keep you occupied, check this one out. Because it plays fairly well. It's more or less the same as any other game out there in this genre. You move your pieces around the playing field, attack enemies, choose different weapons, and play through a massive storyline. If you're not familiar with the genre, there's a lengthy tutorial that will get you up to speed in how to play this game. There's 35 missions total, skirmish maps, and you level your characters up as you play. Some of the missions are really big, too. And conveniently, the game allows you to save your game mid-mission if you need to stop playing. If this is your first foray into the tactical RPG strategy game, then I'll give you a few other ones to try, which are far superior to this in every way. Tactics Ogre on the PSP, Vandal Hearts, Final Fantasy Tactics on the PlayStation, Front Mission 3 on the PlayStation, Front Mission 4 on PS2, and Devil Survivor on the Nintendo DS. But those games aren't on the 3DS yet. This one is. It's familiar, satisfying tactical RPG strategy gameplay with a one-dimensional plot, numerous character classes, and plenty of missions to keep you playing if you dig this style of gameplay. The action takes place on the top screen. Let's take a peek at what's going on the lower screen. It's partying while you're not looking. No, it's not doing that. It's just giving you information about which character you have highlighted, or you can pull up a map of the battlefield. So we've got commandos and medics here, but one thing this game could have used is a wizard class. Because the inability to drop chocobos or meteors on enemies is kind of disappointing. You could almost imagine the enemies looking at you from a distance. Like, what are they armed with? Well, a couple snipers, RPGs, and some dude in a robe with a giant staff. Really? What's he doing? Well, apparently he's lighting Charlie on fire right now. Why don't we run away? Oh great, now it's raining chocobos.